My wife called it the day of betrayal. I thought she was joking until I realized what she actually meant. I was sitting at my desk reviewing inventory reports when my phone vibrated with a notification. Instagram. Normally I would ignore it, but the preview showed Olivia's profile picture. My wife doesn't post much, maybe once every few months, so I clicked. There she was with her arms around a guy, his chin resting on her shoulder, both smiling as if they had just won the lottery. The caption read, "Home is where the heart is." I recognized that face immediately. Ryan Carter, the ex-boyfriend she dated for 3 years before we met, the one she swore was ancient history when his name came up last Thanksgiving. The same guy who had been liking her posts for the past 6 months, leaving comments like, "You look beautiful," and "I miss those days." The post had already been up for 40 minutes, with 18 likes. Her cousin, Megan, had commented with 3 heart symbols. A coworker left a "Go on, Queen." Someone named Sarah wrote "Finally" with several exclamation points. Finally? What the hell did that mean? I took a screenshot, then another of the comment section. Then I opened her profile and scrolled back through her feed. 3 weeks ago, there was a photo at Riverside Park. The same jacket Ryan was wearing now was in it. 2 months ago, a photo at a coffee shop. Someone's arm was visible at the edge of the frame. A man's hand, a watch I didn't recognize. The evidence was there the whole time, and I was too blind to see it. My desk phone rang. I let it go to voicemail. I needed to think clearly, not react like an emotional wreck. Here is what I knew for sure. We had been married for 4 years, together for 6 in total. I paid for her car, a 2019 Honda Civic, with the title in my name because her credit score was trash when we bought it. The engagement ring cost me $3,200. I bought her a diamond bracelet for our 2nd anniversary, gold earrings for her birthday last year, and a laptop when hers died during her online certification program. I opened the Notes app on my phone and started typing. Not an angry rant, just facts, dates, values, and receipts I could find. My supervisor, Robert, passed by my cubicle. "Are you okay? You look tense." "Just organizing some personal files," I said. "All good." He nodded and kept walking. I went back to my phone. The photo now had 24 likes. Her best friend, Nicole, commented, "It was about time you followed your heart." It was about time. I screenshotted that too. Then I sent a message to Olivia, saying, "I'm working late today, don't wait up for dinner." She replied immediately, "Okay, ordering Thai food, want me to save some for you?" "No thanks, I'll grab something here." 3 dots appeared and then disappeared. Then, "Is everything okay?" "Yes, just busy, talk later." I put my phone face down and went back to my computer, but I wasn't looking at inventory reports anymore. I was searching online for safety deposit box listings, researching which items legally belong to me in our state, and checking what documentation I would need for what I was about to do. I researched community property laws, definitions of marital assets, and what constituted separate property. Everything with my name on the title or receipt was mine. I took notes. When I left work, the post had 63 likes and 12 comments, mostly from her family and friends, all supporting, all celebrating whatever that was. I stopped at a 24-hour coffee shop on the way home. The guy on the night shift at the counter barely looked up when I asked for access to the scanner and the color printer. Perfect. I didn't need an audience yet. When I pulled into our garage at 11 p.m., the living room lights were still on. I sat in my truck for a minute, staring at that light. 4 years of marriage, 6 years total, and she had just announced to everyone who mattered to her that her heart belonged elsewhere. I grabbed my folder, now filled with printed documentation, and walked in. She was on the couch watching some reality show, phone face down on the cushion next to her. "Hey," she said, looking up, "you look exhausted." "Hard day, Long day, I corrected. I'm going to take a shower and crash. Want to watch something together first? I looked at her, the same woman I had married, the same smile, the same voice that said, "I do," in front of 100 people. Maybe tomorrow, I said. I'm wiped out. She shrugged and turned back to the TV. I went upstairs, left my folder in the guest room, and closed the door. Then I opened my laptop and started working. If she wanted to make public declarations about where her heart was, that was her choice. But she was about to find out that choices come with price tags, and I had all the receipts. I woke up before her, as usual, 5:30 a.m., a silent alarm so I wouldn't wake her. I got dressed, made coffee, and sat at the kitchen table with my laptop and the folder I had started the night before. The Instagram post was still up, 92 likes now. More comments had come in overnight. Her aunt, Maureen, wrote, "So happy for you." A high school friend tagged 3 other people with laughing while crying emojis. I heard her footsteps upstairs, shower on, hairdryer running, the usual routine. She came down at 7 a.m. wearing the earrings I had bought for her. Gold hoops, $340 at the downtown jeweler. She had cried when I gave them to her. She said they were too expensive, that I shouldn't have bought them. "Good morning," she said, pouring herself some coffee. "You're up early." "Couldn't sleep," I said, closing my laptop. "A lot on my mind." She leaned against the counter, sipping her coffee and watching me. "Work stuff?" "Among other things." "Want to talk about it?" I looked directly at her. "Not yet." She frowned slightly but didn't push. "I'm meeting Adley for lunch today, that new place on 5th Street. Adley King, her friend from the gym, the one who had been encouraging her to live her best life for the past year. I had met her twice. I didn't like her either time. "Have fun," I said. "You're being weird," she said, setting down her mug. "What's going on?" "Just tired, like I said last night." She studied me for another moment, then shrugged. "Okay, well, I'll be back around 3 p.m. After she left, I went to the garage. Everything I had bought for her over the years was cataloged in my head, but I needed physical proof for what was coming next. The diamond bracelet was in her jewelry box upstairs. The laptop was on her desk in the spare room. The car was the biggest asset. I went to my filing cabinet and pulled the title. Only my name was on it, bought in cash 2 years ago when her previous car died and she had no savings to replace it. I photographed everything: the car title, the jeweler's receipt, the Amazon order confirmations for the smaller items, and credit card statements showing the charges. I uploaded everything to a cloud folder and backed it up on a flash drive. I wasn't going to take any risks. My phone rang. It was my brother, Leo. "Did you see her Instagram?" he asked immediately. "I did, man," I said. "This is disturbing." "Do you know who that guy is?" "Her ex, Ryan, and she just posted that publicly with that caption. What are you going to do?" "Take care of it." "That's not an answer." "It's the only answer you're getting right now," I said. "I'll call you later." "Don't do anything stupid." "I won't do anything stupid, I promise. But I'm also not going to do nothing." I hung up and went back to my documentation. By noon, I had every major purchase detailed, photographed, and verified with receipts. I created a simple spreadsheet listing each item, the purchase date, the amount spent, and the current estimated value. The car was worth about $12,000, the ring $3,000, the bracelet maybe $700, the earrings $300, and the laptop $400 to $500. Total asset value over $16,000. The doorbell rang at 1 p.m. I wasn't expecting anyone. Through the peephole, I saw my father-in-law, Thomas. I opened the door. "Can I come in?" I stepped aside. He walked into the living room, hands in his pockets, looking uncomfortable. "I saw the post," he said finally. "It seems everyone has. Look, I don't know what's going on between you two, but that photo, that caption, it isn't right. I wanted you to know that Linda and I don't approve of whatever she's doing. We didn't raise her to treat marriage like this." I nodded slowly. "I appreciate you saying that, Thomas. Are you two going to work it out?" "That depends entirely on her," I said. "But between you and me, Thomas, When someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time. She just told the entire internet where her heart is. I'm just deciding how to respond." He looked at me for a long moment. "You're calmer than I expected." "I'm plenty angry. I'm just not stupid." He left 20 minutes later after some awkward small talk about the weather and his golf game. But before leaving, he turned and said, "Whatever you decide to do, I won't blame you." After he left, I sat down and opened Facebook, then Craigslist, then 3 local buy and sell groups. It was time to turn documentation into action. I began typing the first ad. 2019 Honda Civic, silver, 35,000 miles, clean title. Then I added the part that would change everything. My finger hovered over the post button for maybe 5 seconds. Then I clicked, and I didn't stop there. The first post went live at 2:15 p.m. 2019 silver Honda Civic, 35,000 miles, excellent condition, title in my name. Then I added the description that mattered. Vehicle used by a future ex-wife who decided her ex-boyfriend was more interesting than our marriage. Posted a reunion photo on Instagram with the caption, "Home is where the heart is. All paperwork in order. All maintenance records included. She can find her own ride to see him now. Or best offer. Marriage is over. She chose him. Everything must go." I posted it on Facebook Marketplace, 3 local buy and sell groups, and Craigslist. Then I moved on to the next item. Engagement ring, 14K white gold, 1 carat center stone, original appraisal included. Bought this for a marriage that lasted until she decided nostalgia was more valuable than commitment. Appraised at $3,200. Will accept best reasonable offer. The diamond bracelet, the gold earrings, the laptop, each one got its own post with photos and a brutally honest description. I didn't swear, I didn't rant, I just stated facts with enough context so that anyone reading would know exactly why these items were for sale. By 3 p.m., I had 12 active posts across different platforms. By 3:30 p.m., the shares began. My phone buzzed, a message request on Facebook from someone I didn't know. "Man, I'm so sorry for what happened. Tough break. Is the bracelet still available?" Another notification. Someone shared my car post in a group called Nashville Area Drama. Then another share to a support group called Divorce and Savages. The comments started rolling in. One man said, "This guy is done with the games. She really thought posting that was a good idea?" Another wrote, "The way he documented everything? King energy. I'll take the earrings if they're still available. My wife would love them, and honestly, I respect the energy here." A legitimate offer came in at 3:45 p.m. Someone named Mike wanted to see the car that night. I scheduled it for 7 p.m. "What did you think would happen, Olivia?" I asked, my voice remaining calm while hers rose in pitch. "You posted for the whole world to see that your heart belongs to Ryan. If your heart is with him, I don't see why you'd need my car, my jewelry, or my roof. Ryan can provide those things for you now, since he is your home." "It was just a photo, James. It was a joke, an Instagram trend. You're destroying my reputation over a caption." "A $16,000 joke? It didn't look like a prank when your friends and family were celebrating it in the comments. I just made things easier for you. I've already sold the earrings and the bracelet. The car buyer arrives in 10 minutes with the cash." I heard a scream of frustration on the other end, followed by the sound of a car door slamming. "I'm coming home right now. Don't sell anything. If you touch my things, I'm calling the police." "Call them," I said. "They'll love to see the receipts and ownership titles I have right here with me. See you soon." I hung up. The silence in the house was heavy. I knew the storm was coming, but for the first time in a long while, I felt in control. I grabbed the envelopes I had prepared, one with the spare car key, another with the jewelry certificates. The doorbell rang. It was Mike, the car buyer. He was a middle-aged guy who looked a bit awkward being there. "Read the ad," he said, while examining the Honda in the garage. "Sorry about the situation, man, but the car is spotless." "The car is great. She took good care of it, at least." He handed me an envelope with the cash. I counted every bill. Just as I was handing over the signed title and the key, a car braked hard in our driveway. Olivia jumped out of the Uber before it even came to a full stop. "Stop! James, stop right now!" she screamed, running toward us. She saw Mike take the key and her face went pale. "That's my car! You can't do this!" Mike looked at me, then at her, visibly uncomfortable. "The title is in his name, ma'am. I've already paid." "I don't care! James, give him his money back right now!" I looked at her, then back at Mike. "You can take the car, Mike. The deal is closed. She's just having a hard time understanding the concept of consequences." "What about this Odding Tastiest HL business?" She ignored my question. "My mother is crying." "Funny," I said calmly. "When you posted that photo with Ryan, you didn't seem worried about your family's reaction. That is completely different." "You're right," I said. "Your post was about feelings. Mine is about assets. It's much more direct. Take that down right now." "I can't do that. I already have a buyer scheduled to see the car at 7 p.m. A guy named Mike. Seems genuine. Offered $12,000 in cash. I'm not going to waste his time." "You can't sell my car." "My car, my name, my money that bought it. You just drove it. That arrangement is ending." She was either crying or hyperventilating. It was hard to tell over the phone. "Are you doing this to punish me?" "I'm doing this because you made your choice public," I said. "I'm just making the consequences equally public. You wanted everyone to know where your heart is. Now everyone knows how much that decision cost. I'm coming home right now. Don't you dare meet with anyone." "I'll be here," I said, "but Mike is still coming at 7 p.m. You'd better hurry." I hung up and checked my post again. The car ad alone had been shared over 400 times. The comments were in the hundreds. Some people were calling me petty, most were calling me a legend. Everyone was fascinated by the drama unfolding. At 6:30 p.m., I heard her car pull into the garage. The front door slammed open, and that's when things got interesting. She stormed into the living room where I was sitting with my laptop, still responding to messages. Her face was red, mascara smeared under her eyes. "Take it down now." I didn't look up from the screen. "Mike just confirmed he'll be here in 20 minutes. She said, "Take it down." And I said, "No." She grabbed my laptop. I let her. She stared at the screen, scrolling through the messages. 53 unread offers, questions, people asking for updates on what had been sold. "This is crazy," she whispered. "People are messaging me. My boss saw it. My Aunt Maureen called my mom asking what's going on. Do you understand what you've done?" I stood up and took the laptop back from her hands. "I understand exactly what I did. The question is, do you understand what you did?" "It was just a photo with my ex-boyfriend," she said. "The caption, saying where the heart is, posted publicly where everyone we know could see it, just a photo?" I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshot. 92 likes, 15 comments. Your cousin said, "Finally." Your friend said, "It's about time you followed your heart." So tell me exactly what I'm supposed to think. You could have talked to me. How did you talk to me before you posted? How did you mention you were seeing Ryan again, meeting at parks and coffee shops, letting him back into your life while wearing the earrings I bought for you?" Her mouth opened and closed. She didn't expect me to know about the other meetings. "Just like you, your Instagram isn't as private as you think," I said. "And when you post someone's arm in a photo, maybe make sure they aren't wearing a watch I never saw you buy for me." She sat on the couch, head in her hands. "It's not what it looks like." "Then what is it? Explain it to me. Use simple words so I understand." "Ryan and I reconnected a few months ago. We were just talking, catching up. It wasn't physical. We didn't do anything wrong." "You posted a photo that announced to everyone who matters in your life that your heart belongs to him. That's not nothing. That is a declaration." "I didn't mean it that way. It was just a caption." "Words have meaning," I said dryly. "When you say home is where the heart is while hugging another man, people draw conclusions. Your family drew conclusions. Your friends drew conclusions. I drew conclusions. And you know what? You didn't take it down. Even now, it's still there." She frantically pulled out her phone and opened Instagram. Her hand shook as she deleted the post. "Too late," I said. "Screenshots exist. The internet doesn't forget. Neither do I." The doorbell rang. Mike, right on time. "Don't answer it," she said quickly. I walked to the door and opened it. Mike was in his mid-40s, wearing a Titans cap and work boots. He nodded to me. "You the guy with the Civic?" "That's me. It's in the garage." "It's not for sale anymore. There was a mistake." Mike looked between us, clearly noticing the tension. "Look, if this is a bad time—" "It isn't," I said. "Give me 2 minutes." I went to my office and grabbed the title, maintenance records, and the spare key. When I came back, she was standing in front of Mike, arms crossed. "It's my car. He can't sell it." "The title is in my name," I said, showing the document to Mike. "Bought and paid for by me. She drove it, but it was never transferred to her name." Mike examined the title, then looked at her. "Ma'am, if his name is on the title, the car is legally his." "We're married, and I'm filing for divorce Monday morning," I added, "so we won't be married much longer." Her face went pale. "You're not serious?" "Dead serious. I already spoke with a lawyer Friday afternoon. The paperwork will be filed first thing Monday." Mike cleared his throat. "I'm going to look at the car now, if that's all right." I tossed him the keys. "Check everything. It has new tires from March, oil change last month. All records are in that folder." While Mike inspected the car, she followed me back inside. "When did you talk to a lawyer?" "Yesterday," I said. "Right after I saw your photo, I made an appointment. I went during my lunch break. We discussed options. Turns out, when your wife publicly declares her heart belongs elsewhere, you have grounds." "I want to fix this. Can we go to therapy?" "No. You won't even try. You didn't try," I said. "You made a choice. You posted it. You celebrated with everyone except me. Now you deal with the result." "And everything we built together?" She gestured around the room. "You mean everything I bought that you used? Because that's what this house is full of. My money, my furniture, my name on the lease. What exactly did you contribute? Your part-time job at the yoga studio that barely covers your own expenses? That's not fair." "What's not fair is coming home to find out my wife's heart belongs to someone else via Instagram. That isn't fair. This," I pointed to the garage where Mike was checking under the hood, "is just consequences." Mike knocked on the door. "I'll take it. $12,000 in cash. Like I said, meet me at the bank tomorrow morning so I can withdraw it. Does 10 a.m. work for you?" "Perfect." They shook hands. Mike left. She stood at the door watching the taillights disappear. You really sold it? Yes. How am I supposed to get to work? The bus runs every 30 minutes. There's a stop 2 blocks from here. Or call Ryan. I'm sure he'd love to help. She turned to face me, and for the first time, I saw genuine fear in her eyes. Not of me, more of the situation she had created. What happens now? Now I keep selling. The ring is being appraised Saturday by a buyer. Bracelet and earrings are pending. Everything with my name attached will be liquidated. You should start packing your things. Where am I supposed to go? That's your problem to solve. You chose your path. Walk it. I went to the guest room and closed the door. My phone was still buzzing with notifications, messages, and offers. I responded to every single one. By the time I went to sleep, I had buyers lined up for almost everything. Saturday morning, I met Jennifer at a coffee shop on 12th Avenue. She brought her jeweler, an older man named Walter, who examined the ring with a loupe for 10 minutes while I drank black coffee and answered emails on my phone. "It's authentic," Walter confirmed. "Quality stone, excellent setting. I'd appraise it at $3,400 in the current market." Jennifer handed me a cashier's check for $3,000. "I'm so sorry for what happened to you. My daughter is getting engaged next month. This ring deserves a better story from here on out." "It will have one," I said, shaking her hand. When I got home, she was sitting at the kitchen table with her mother, Linda, and her sister, Chelsea. An intervention. How predictable. "We need to talk," Linda started. "Nothing to talk about," I said, walking past them toward the stairs. Chelsea stood up, blocking my path. "You embarrassed her in front of everyone. Family, friends, co-workers. Do you have any idea what you've done?" "I know exactly what I did. The question is, do you know what she did?" I showed her the photo she had posted. Linda's face hardened. "We saw it. It was inappropriate, yes, but it didn't justify this level of retaliation." "Retaliation? I sold items that belong to me. Last I checked, that isn't illegal." "You humiliated her publicly," Chelsea snapped. "She humiliated our marriage publicly first. I just responded in kind. Don't start a fire if you can't handle the smoke." Olivia came down the stairs, eyes red from crying. "Can we please talk alone?" "We've already talked. You know where I stand." "I deleted the photo. I blocked Ryan. I'll do whatever you want." "You blocked him after you got caught. That isn't remorse. That's damage control." Linda stepped forward. "She made a mistake. Marriage is about forgiveness." "Marriage is also about respect, loyalty, and not publicly declaring your heart belongs to your ex. She broke those rules, not me." "So you're just going to throw away 4 years?" Chelsea challenged. "She threw it away when she posted that photo. I'm just clearing the wreckage." I went up to pack more of my things. I had already signed a lease for a small house across town. 2 bedrooms, decent yard, ready for move-in on Wednesday. The landlord, a guy named Griffin Shepherd, didn't ask questions when I explained I needed a place fast. He just checked my credit, which was excellent, and handed over the keys. By Sunday afternoon, most of my clothes were packed. My electronics, important documents, everything that mattered was in boxes in my truck. She watched from the bedroom door as I worked. "Are you really leaving?" "Tuesday," I said. "The movers come Wednesday for the furniture I'm taking." "What furniture?" "The couch I bought before we got married, my office desk, the guest room TV, anything with my name on the receipt." "You're taking the couch?" "Unless you have $1,200 to buy it from me." She didn't. Monday morning, I filed the divorce papers. The clerk processed everything efficiently, no drama. Monday afternoon, she was served at work. Her sister called me screaming about how I had embarrassed Olivia at the yoga studio in front of clients. "She could have been served at home," I said calmly, "but she wasn't there when the process server stopped by. Not my problem." "You're being vindictive." "I'm being efficient. There's a difference." On Tuesday, the remaining items were sold. The bracelet went to a woman named Piper for $650, the earrings to someone named Sloan for $280, the laptop to a college student named Ian for $400. Every transaction was documented. Every cent was deposited into my personal account that I had opened Monday morning. Wednesday morning, the movers arrived at 8 a.m. She was already gone, staying at her parents' house. Good, it made things easier. They loaded my furniture, my boxes, everything I was taking. The house looked empty when they finished. I did one last sweep, checking closets and cabinets. In the bedroom, I found the Instagram photo printed out and tucked into her jewelry box, the one she had deleted. She had printed it before taking it down. I left it there. Let her keep the memory. At my new place, I spent Wednesday unpacking, setting up my workspace and arranging the living room, making the place mine. Thursday, I went back to work. Robert asked how I was holding up. "Better than expected," I said. "Honestly, your posts are still circulating. I saw one shared on a Reddit forum yesterday." "Good, let it circulate. Maybe it teaches someone something." Friday afternoon, my lawyer called. She wants to negotiate terms. Her lawyer reached out. "What terms? I don't want anything from her. She can keep whatever is in her name, which is basically nothing. I want the divorce finalized and I want to move on." "She's asking for alimony." I laughed. I actually laughed. On what grounds? Her part-time yoga job? We were married for 4 years. She contributed nothing financially, and she's the one who blew up the marriage. Tell her lawyer good luck with that argument. I'll tell her that. It should be pretty straightforward. 6 weeks, maybe 8. That weekend, her brother, Kyle, sent me a message. "I don't blame you for what you did. She messed up, but she's my sister, so I had to try. Good luck with everything." I appreciated that Kyle was decent about it. Sunday night, I was grilling burgers in my new backyard when Leo stopped by with beer. "How are you feeling?" he asked. "Relieved," I said honestly, like I had finally stopped carrying something heavy. The posts had mostly died down, but I still got occasional messages from people sharing their own stories. "You became an icon, man. Marriage is over, she chose him, everything must go." That phrase is everywhere. I flipped a burger. I just wanted my stuff back. I didn't plan on going viral. But it did, and you handled it perfectly. No begging, no drama, just cold execution. It wasn't cold. I was angry. I still am sometimes. But I wasn't going to let that anger make me stupid. Ryan reached out? No, he vanished the second things got complicated. Turns out he only wanted her when she was safely married to someone else. The moment she became available and complicated, he was gone. Leo shook his head. She lost everything chasing nothing. That's usually how it works. We ate burgers, drank beer, and talked about everything except her. It felt good. Normal. Later that night, I received one last message from her. "I'm sorry for everything. You deserve better." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I blocked the number. She was right. I did deserve better. And now I had the chance to find it. 8 weeks later, I sat in a courthouse conference room. My lawyer, David Shen, had the final papers spread out on the table. Her lawyer, Sarah, sat across from us with her client. Olivia looked different, thinner, tired. The earrings were gone, and so was the confidence. Judge Armstrong reviewed the agreement. No alimony, no shared assets, because there were none to share. A clean break. She kept her clothes and personal items. I kept everything else, because everything else was mine. "Any objections?" the judge asked. Her lawyer looked at her. She shook her head. "Then this marriage is dissolved. The papers will be filed today with immediate effect." That was it. 4 years ended in 12 minutes. Outside the courtroom, she caught up to me. "Can we talk for just a minute?" Nothing left to say. "I need you to know I regret everything. Ryan was a fantasy. You were real, and I destroyed that." "You did." "Do you hate me?" I looked at her. I considered the question. "No, I don't hate you. I just don't care anymore." "That's worse, probably." She felt tears forming. "I deserve this." "Yes, you do." I walked to my truck. Leo was waiting, leaning against the passenger door. "Finished?" he asked. "Finished." We drove back to my place. The house felt like a home now. I had painted the living room and bought new furniture with the money from selling her things. I had a small gathering last weekend, friends from work, some guys from the gym. A normal life. My phone buzzed. A message from Mike, the guy who bought the car. "Just wanted to say thanks again. My daughter loves it. Passed her driving test yesterday. You did us a good deal, despite everything." I smiled and replied, "Glad it's being appreciated." Leo opened a beer and handed me one. "Now what?" "Now I work, I live, I move on. Maybe date eventually, maybe not. No rush." "The posts still pop up sometimes. You're a legend in the divorce community." I didn't want to be a legend. I just wanted people to understand that respect isn't negotiable. She made a public statement about her priorities. I made a public response about mine. Think she learned anything? I don't know. I don't care. That's her journey now. We sat on my back porch as the sun went down. Birds chirping, neighbors mowing grass, normal suburban sounds. Peace. She wanted to show the world where her heart was. I showed the world what happens when you disrespect someone who knows their worth. No begging, no second chances, no tolerance for betrayal, just consequences delivered with precision. And when the dust settled, I was the one who came out whole. She chose him. I chose myself. Best decision I ever made.